story end? What will Baker Mayfield's story be? Grit and guts that overcame bad luck, or another Cleveland case of unavoidable fate? What about Big Ben and Phillip Rivers and Drew Brees? Is this the final chance, the final chapter? And who triumphs in the legend of Lamar, the superhero or the nemesis? This isn't fantasy. This is football. This is NFL Total Access. Welcome to NFL Total Access. I'm MJ Acosta-Ruiz. The plot thickens, my friends, as we get closer to the start of Wild Card Weekend. Willie McGinnis, D'Angelo Hall, and Kurt Warner join me tonight. Super Wild Card Weekend starts Saturday in Buffalo and ends Sunday in Pittsburgh. 6 games, 2 wins. 2 days rather, win or go home for those who don't make it. What more could you want, really? Let's get things rolling, though, with 2 important injury updates. Our NFL insider, Ian Rappaport, joins us now for that. And Ian, let's start with the Saints. Could they have their top receiver back against the Bears on Sunday?
It sounds like these Saints will have Michael Thomas back on the field this weekend for the New Orleans Saints. Here's where they stand right now. Remember, Michael Thomas is on injured reserve, still on injured reserve with that high ankle sprain that never quite healed properly. They took him off the field at the end of the season, said, you know what, go away, rest up, heal up, be back for the playoffs. He officially returned to practice today. That's a big thing. They opened his window. Still on IR, but they do believe, based on the progress he's made, that he will be activated off IR, ready to play the game against the Chicago Bears, potentially at full strength for the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Washington football team, they got their quarterback back at practice today after not participating yesterday. Alex Smith participated on a limited basis today for the Washington football team. Still dealing with that calf injury. The expectation is that he will play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend. However, Taylor Heineke, a backup who we actually saw a couple weeks ago in action, did take some first-team reps, obviously practiced a ton yesterday. They want to make sure he is ready and up to speed just in case Alex Smith's calf tightens up and he's not able to go at full strength.
Something everybody's keeping an eye on. Okay, Ian, thank you. And Washington has a tough draw against the Buccaneers and Tom Brady. Brady has more playoff wins than the Washington franchise. He's also the first player over 40 years old to throw more than 40 touchdown passes. Key receiver Mike Evans, as we heard, did not practice and is considered day-to-day. Otherwise, the Bucs are healthy.
He's obviously a great young player, so we got our hands full with that D-line, one of the best D-lines in the league. So Chase is a great young player. He went to Ohio State, so naturally I think the Ohio State-Michigan thing wears off on him a little bit. I understand that. But we're prepared for, a tough challenge, and should be a fun game.
Brady and the Bucs finished the season on a 4-game win streak, and history tells us, that bodes well for them. It is the 6th time Brady ends a season winning his final 4 starts. His team reached the Super Bowl in 5 of those 6 seasons, most recently winning Super Bowl 51 after the 2016 season. All right, Willie McGinnis and D'Angelo Hall. Hello, my friends. Good to see you guys shining today. All right, Tampa facing Washington, a tough defensive front as well. Both of you have some experience here playing either with Tom or against him. D. Hall, why don't you start us off with your experience?
Yeah, MJ, Willie, I was just thinking, going against Tom Brady, he was one of the most difficult quarterbacks to get an interception from. And if you watch Tom a little bit through the course of this season, he's kind of struggled a little bit. I know that stat tells us that Tom Brady has lit it up the last 4 games, but you got to kind of think a little bit. He had the Vikings, he had the Falcons twice, but watch, this typically isn't Tom Brady. Just dropping back, throwing the football there, Fuller gets a free interception here. Tom Brady doesn't throw the football across his body. That's rule number 1. Another free interception here. He's just trying to avoid the rush, as you see. And here, Tom Brady's just late on this out route. Watching Tom Brady operate this offense, yes, it's looked a lot better over the last couple of weeks, but a lot of that has to do with the level of competition. And I know Tom is the GOAT, Willie, but I tell you what, I'm not as sold as I once was on Tom Brady.
Well, you talk about the competition and the teams that they've played, and I understand there's been some uncharacteristic things that's happened, and we've seen the pick sixes, the interceptions, and a lot had to do with pressure. So that does worry me when playing the Washington Redskins. You heard Tom talk about it. That front is a problem. Any team that can rush 4 guys, and they got 4 guys that they can rush and drop 7 in the coverage, that can apply pressure and win the one-on-one battles, is a problem for a quarterback who is not that mobile in the pocket. Now, he moves as well as any quarterback within that box, but if you can get him off the spot, yes, it's an issue. So if Mike Evans is day-to-day, now you take away one of your weapons. These other receivers, the grunt tight ends, they're going to have to step up because the ball's going to have to come out. He cannot sit in the pocket and wait 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball deep down the field because they'll be able to get to him. So I do agree, but he has playoff experience. He has played against some of the most dangerous fronts that you can ever think of. He knows how to elude. He knows how to prepare, and hopefully they have a game plan where they're running the football and getting the ball out of his hands so he doesn't have to deal with Chase Young and Payne and all the rest of those guys.
I wouldn't want to. Listen, we have an encyclopedia worth of stuff to talk about when it comes to Tom Brady, but I want to talk about the QB or QBs on the other side of here. And D. Hall, I'll start with you because you were able to watch Washington's practice today. What did you assess and what do you see in this quarterback situation in Washington?
Well, you know what? It's a tough situation with Alex Smith and the calf injury. If you watch Alex really operate this offense, he's had some success. But if you watched him last week, you could tell that he was noticeably hurt. And so I think Coach Rivera going ahead and letting everyone know, hey, we're possibly going to play too, because I don't think it's fair to Alex Smith to just throw him out there against what could be, this Bucs defense is really good too. And so Taylor Heineke got a lot of snaps in practice today. I know they said the report, the snaps were split. I saw Taylor Heineke taking all of the snaps. And he's a kid that's very athletic, can get the football out of his hands, can make every throw. And so if Alex Smith is getting a little bit of pressure and he can't get out of that pocket, you throw a guy like Taylor Heineke in and he will move the sticks, whether that's with his legs or whether that's really understanding this offense and being able to get the ball out of his hands and get it in some of the explosive playmakers that the Washington football team have on the outside.
Listen, guys, as much as we're rooting for Alex Smith, right? What an incredible story, everything he's done this year, potential to lead this team in a playoff win. Yeah. If it's not safe for him, especially given all that he's overcome, then it's this Tyler Heineke show, isn't it? All right, guys, thank you.
Woo! Hey, it don't get better than this. It's a beautiful weather in Cleveland today.
Hey, guys, listen. Just as Coach Wood said, guys, the only thing that we need to do, guys, is our job. Y'all get what I'm saying? Hey, hell yeah, make room. Hey, link up. Hey, because when we do our job, we win. When we do our job, we win. Linebackers win football games. Let's go. Linebackers win football games. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Winning you're in. That's all there is to it. We ain't got no other option. Winning you're in. Just win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Just win.
It was that last let's go that got me. All right, for more on Browns and Steelers round 3, let's welcome in our Hall of Fame quarterback, Kurt Warner. And Kurt, listen, obviously Pittsburgh will not be resting their stars. And to make matters worse for Cleveland, they'll be without head coach Kevin Stefanski or Pro Bowl guard Joel Bitonio after positive COVID tests. So, Kurt, how big of a problem is this for Baker Mayfield as he gets ready for the biggest game of his young career?
Well, MJ, we are conditioned as players to say, doesn't matter. We will find a way. We will focus through this. We will move on. Next guy up. But let's be honest here. If my play caller, not only my head coach, but my play caller was not available going into my first playoff game, it would mess with me. It would mess with me as a quarterback. I would constantly be thinking, okay, how are we going to do this? Is this other guy, the next guy up, is he going to understand me the same way that Coach Stefanski understands me? And so Alex Van Pelt, obviously been in the league for a long time, been connected with this situation, all year long as well. But it's a different thing. I've always said as a quarterback and whoever's calling plays that you have to see the game the same way. You have to understand why plays are